What is up, guys? We are going to take a quick second to talk about garlic. Different ways to cut it, a really cool way to cook it. You can do a lot of things with garlic. A lot of you guys don't know how to use garlic. A lot of people don't know how to use garlic. They end up burning it. They don't cut it right. They don't like to peel it. So here we have some garlic that we've simply just took the time to peel apart and take out of a clove. And these are just cloves of garlic. I'm going to talk about a couple different ways to cut it and why you might cut them in those ways. So this is a tool that every kitchen everywhere has. It's called a mandolin. It costs between like 20 and 30 bucks. And it is one of the best investments that you can make as a home cook, as a professional cook. Just makes your life a lot easier. So you're gonna grab your garlic, give it a pass on here, keep your hands out of the way. Now you're gonna say, Chef, what would I need garlic cut like that for? So this is a really good way if you're gonna add in garlic to finish, where you still want like a little bite of raw garlic at the end. So I might finish a pasta this way. I might add it into a sauce at the end and then strain it out. It'll add that garlicky flavor. Or if I wanted to make garlic chips, I would take these, I would blanch these and then fry them in a little bit of canola oil, and I'd have beautiful garlic chips. You know, I'm sick of seeing people buy those stupid garlic presses and the garlic spinners or whatever the fuck it is. You don't need any of that. You just need a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience. This garlic, I am going to make you a little garlic puree. I'm not gonna use a blender. I'm not gonna use a food processor. I'm not gonna use a little device. I'm just gonna use my knife. The fattest part of the knife on top of the garlic. Keep your fingers up and out of the way. Give it a smash. Give it another smash. We'll add a touch more here. Another smash. So now we have garlic. Now guys, if I just wanted this to be a rough chop of garlic, I would be okay right here. There's nothing wrong with this. But if I wanted to take this a step further, I'm gonna take a big pinch of kosher salt. And I'm gonna hit that garlic with that kosher salt. More than you'd ever think that you need. I'm gonna take my knife, flatten it out as best I can. And what I'm really doing is I'm using that salt kind of like sandpaper. It takes time, it takes patience, but that's what good cooking is. You don't cook for people you don't like, so take the time, do it with some love. They'll know the difference. All right, now I want to turn this garlic into something really special, something that I could put on top of a steak, something that I could maybe even put on top of some fish. So here I have some flat leaf Italian parsley. I'm gonna take it and pick it off of the big stems. And again, take your time, there's no rush. You're not in a restaurant, nobody's gonna yelp about you. Now I don't wanna chop the parsley too much, so at this point I'm gonna take my garlic, I'm gonna mix it in with the parsley. Guys, it's important that you use a really sharp knife for this, because if you use a blunt knife, all you're doing is mashing the parsley. So a lot of times you see people cutting herbs, and the herbs are nicely chopped, but their board is bright green. What that means is all the parsley, all the basil, all the whatever, it's in your board. It's not in your herb anymore. So be gentle with it. Let the knife do the work. And here we have a lovely seasoning that we can use for steak or for fish or for anything else that you wanted to. You can mix that in with a little bit of butter and make a beautiful butter. This is ready to go. You can hold this in the fridge for a couple days or hold it just for that day. It's super fresh. Really, really great way for you guys to season your food. So there you have your sliced garlic. Here you've got your garlic and parsley. And the last thing I'm gonna show you is probably the easiest of them. Just gonna be some quick roasted garlic. I'm gonna dump all this garlic in my bowl, hit it with a good pinch of salt, a little bit of white pepper. We're gonna hit this with some canola oil as well. And we're just gonna give it a toss. Everything's nicely coated. We've got some oil, we've got some salt and pepper. Super, super simple, guys. Dump this out onto our tray. And this is gonna go into a 350-degree oven for about 30 or 40 minutes, or until the garlic is nicely golden brown. You might have to turn it a couple times. That's gonna be fantastic, yummy, yummy toasted garlic. So we'll see in a minute. Guys, I wish you could smell this so much right now. This garlic smells amazing. Just pulled it out of the oven. It's nice and soft. It's a little bit crispy on the edges. Look at that, it just comes apart in my hand. So I'm gonna take this garlic, I'm gonna kind of mash it into this bowl a little bit. It's called a compound butter. It is just a flavored butter that you can slam anything into. I like garlic. I have a pound of butter here. This has been softened, so I've left this sitting out for about 2 or 3 hours. I'm just gonna start mixing it in. If you want to, you can maybe do this in a food processor. I prefer to do it by hand. All right guys, so to this garlic butter, I'm gonna add some parsley, I'm gonna add some diced shallot. So, got a shallot, we're gonna cut it in half, top to tail. Take the tips off here. It's that little papery bit that nobody wants to eat. So I'm gonna come down, straight lines as much as possible. This is one of those other things, guys, just practice, yeah? Just get a couple shallots, practice, or don't practice, and buy a mince already. Whatever it is, cook for yourself, don't stress yourself out. Shallots are gonna go in. All right, so I've got some parsley here. Stack this up as best as you can. Some of you guys are better at rolling these than others. You know who you are. Try to roll it up. And one time through with the knife. Again, guys, when you're chopping herbs, you don't want there to be a bunch of green on your board. If all the green's on your board, it's not in here. It's like getting a bag of sticks and stems. Nobody wants that. Keep the good stuff in the bowl. Leave the bad stuff in the trash, but keep the good stuff in your bowl. Don't leave it on the board. We're gonna season this. Nice pinch of salt. A few turns of black pepper. This is a really good way, if you don't wanna like fuck around with making a sauce, if you don't wanna fuck around with making, you know, nice glaze for your steak or whatever, you just wanna pull the steak off the grill and serve it. This is a good way to get you there. All right, guys, we're just gonna mix this up really, really well. We hit it with some salt and some peppers, got some roasted garlic and some parsley, a little bit of diced shallot in there, so this is yummy, yummy, ready to go. Here I have some parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you don't wanna buy parchment paper, it's really no big deal. You can just put this in a Ziploc bag or in a ramekin, just let it soften up before you serve it. I just think it looks a little bit nicer. What I'm gonna do here is pull this over and use my hands to get this to the size I want it to be. I want to try to push out all the air because I don't want big air pockets in my butter. I know a lot of you guys are going to be really good at this without much practice. I'm not judging. Roll it, roll it. Tighten up the ends a little bit. And we'll take each end here. And just one end over the other end. One end over the other end. It's going to feel like this thing like tear on you. It's not, don't worry. Tuck in the sides. And then we will set this in the fridge to cool off. Guys, you're gonna leave that in the fridge for about an hour or two, let those flavors really incorporate with each other. It'll be nice and firm. You'll be able to cut little slices out of it, use it to garnish your steaks, use it to spread on bed, use it for whatever the fuck you wanna use it for. It's gonna taste amazing. Enjoy.